Welcome back to Fat Cloud TV, brought to you by Vaping Cheap. In this episode, we're taking a quick look at the new Vandy Vape Mesh RDA. Vandy Vape is well known now in the vape community. They've released quite a few atomizers that quickly gained popularity, and they did a bunch of atomizers that they collaborated with the YouTubers with, such as Tony B from the Vapor Trail channel, Mike Vapes, the Pulse 2224, and the Icon RDA. Those are some really popular RDAs, and now they're back with the Mesh RDA. The Mesh RDA you could build either using mesh wire, and we've been seeing a few atomizers that are really utilizing this again. And you could, what's even better is that you could actually, build normal dual coils like fused Claptons, round wire, or whatever else type of coil build you desire. And what really makes this RDA unique is its kind of hidden clamp style build deck, which we'll show you down below in a little bit. But anyway, I'd like to thank Vandy Vape for sending this directly my way for the purposes of this video. Remember, this is just a preview and a quick look. We'll have a full-blown review on the Vaping Cheap website in about a week or so be sure to check that out if you're interested. But right now, I'm going to go ahead and take it down below and give you a quick look at the Vandy Vape Mesh RDA. Alright, here we are in the up-close portion. I have the Vandy Vape Mesh RDA. This is the trial packaging, or the sample version. Here, the retail packaging might be a little bit different, but this is what we usually see from Vandy Vape when it comes to the packaging, which is not a bad thing. And so you slide open the packaging, and you're met with the Mesh RDA. This is the stainless steel color, and you're included additional extra drip tip. I'm not exactly sure what it's called, but it kind of feels like a knurling. Anyway, I'm going to take it out. So this is the Mesh RDA. It's a good looking RDA. It reminds me a little bit of the Cosmonaut from District 5 because of the airflow slits here, well, the cutouts. Even I think the Icon RDA had a similar design as well in the airflow, where it had some slits. This type of airflow is really good for flavor when it comes to side airflow, from my experience, because I get really good flavor with the Cosmonaut. Anyway, you have an Ultem 810 drip tip, and let me take it apart really quickly. And this is the airflow control. So you have two airflow here, and it does have a single coil airflow option available, which is great if you want to run a single coil, or if you just simply want less airflow. Actually, you know what? Let me attach this to the monitor really quick so I could pull off the barrel. There we go. The barrel's, nothing crazy. And this is pretty standard. You have I think this is the Mesh logo, if I'm not mistaken. And that's it, pretty simple. And the before I get into the deck, the top cap, it does have a conical design, so you'll be getting some good flavor from this, I would assume. I haven't vaped on this, by the way, yet. I just got it in the mail, and I wanted to do a quick look because I know there's some interest in that whole Mesh RDA, and we saw one, I think, from Cthulhu. So there's some, I wouldn't say hype, but interest about it. Anyway, here's the additional drip tip. As you see, it looks like it has knurling, but it's not really knurling. They have a name for this, but I can't exactly remember it. When I find a name, I'll either put it in the text somewhere down below, or I'll leave it in the comment section and description. But it doesn't feel rough or anything like that in my fingers, so I wouldn't worry too much about it when you're vaping with it. It actually looks really good. I'm going to go ahead and actually put that drip tip on, and take off the Ultem one just to show you what it looks like. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Yeah, I actually like that. Anyway, so the star of the show is the build deck. Now, this is not really an ordinary postless build deck. It's actually a clamp style build deck but it's kind of within, I guess, or just I'm not even sure how to say it, but you know, postless build is kind of, you drop the coil inside into the leads and then screw it down from, you know, pulse holes like here. I mean, screws, you know, kind of like the pulse. It has the screws on the side of the build deck. And yeah, so with a clamp style build deck, I mean, a clamp style is just incredibly easy. I'm gonna go ahead and open these up so I'll show you how much room you're working with here. The screws are very smooth, and they stop too when it comes towards the end. You can't unscrew it any further. It seems like I don't really want to force it, but yeah. So you have a good amount of room to put a little bit of a thicker coil build. I mean, well, like your really thick coil builds, you might not be able to fit, but I think like fused Claptons, aliens, stuff like that, you'll have no issues with. And then you can tell which one's negative and positive because it's surrounded by peak, and this one isn't. But yeah, I mean, that's an interesting building. I've never seen something like this before. So it's kind of like a mixture between a postless build deck and a clamp style build deck, which is pretty cool, honestly. But moving on to what else is included in the packaging. Go ahead and check this out. Oh, they give you a couple different pieces of mesh. We have stainless steel 316 here. 316L, sorry. You have nichrome 80 right here, and you also have Conical A1. And see what else you get inside the packaging. You get a bag of goodies. You know, you have a hex key. You have some O-rings. That's a 510 drip tip adapter. Extra screws, it looks like. You know, the famous blue screwdriver, and you have a Squonk Pin, which is a big pro. I mean, everybody's getting into squonking nowadays. I see myself squonking more and more, so I might end up using this primarily as Squonk RDA, who knows. But anyway, this is just a quick look at the Mesh RDA. And yeah, I think it's cool. Oh, I just want to show you one more thing. Vandy Vape is going to be having you know, big spools of their mesh wire. This is the Conical A1 variant, and I think, how much feet is this? 5 feet. So I mean, 5 feet is quite a lot for a mesh, and you know, this will probably last you some time. This is not included with the mesh RDA. They sent this along with it for me to test mesh builds and stuff like that. I don't really have a lot of experience with mesh recently. I honestly prefer, you know, standard coils, but we'll see how a mesh build is. But I'm gonna go ahead and throw a simple fused Clapton in here, and when I'm done, I'll just show you what it looks like. Okay, so I threw a quick dual fused Clapton build. Yeah, I know it's not a mesh build. I wanted to put in something first, a build that I really know and know how Vapes, know how it performs in multiple different atomizers. This is a build that I know, like this is a build that I just use all the time, and a lot of atomizers I get for testing or whatever the case may be. I will be doing a mesh build, and I'll be putting it all my thoughts and pros and cons and whatnot for the mesh build in the full review on vapingcheap.com, in a written review. So, you know, if you're curious about that, just check that out when it gets published. I'll leave a link down in the description below when it does get published, so you guys can check it out. But anyway, so I put a dual fuse Clapton build, and it was simple, not hard at all. It's a pulseless clamp style deck, kind of pretty much, and you know, the only hard part is really kind of just figuring out where to cut your leads, so that the airflow is going to hit the side / under your coil. I kind of built it how I would build a cosmonaut, because the airflow is kind of similar in a sense where, you know, you want the airflow to kind of hit underneath the coil and come up. That gives you the best flavor. And another thing to notice here is that it doesn't really have much of a juice well, as you can see. I mean, there's basically no juice well. So with the Squonk Pin, it'll be really handy, but at the same time, you know, kind of reminds me of the cosmonaut again. I know I keep mentioning it, and it's not the, you know, the same RDA, but it's kind of similar. And from a person who uses the Cosmonaut quite often, you know, when you put the top cap on, it kind of gives you a juice well because the airflow sits a little bit high off the deck. Not like super high, you know, you can see, but when you put the top cap on or the barrel section, it kind of creates a juice well for you. So you could pretty much just drip e-liquid right down the center and just, you know, you're good to go with vaping. That's something I love. I love dripping it right down through the center. It makes dripping just easy and simple, you know. But anyway, so I'm going to put some e-liquid on here. I'm going to put some of this stuff. This stuff is pretty good. Rocket Punch Melon Milk Crusher. It's a honeydew condensed milk flavor. If you like honeydew flavors, you'll like this. It's kind of like a creamy honeydew. So I'm going to go ahead and put some e-liquid here. Yep. You know, with any fused Clapton build, you kind of want to hit the fire button every time you just put e-liquid. Looking good. Looks like it's fully saturated. By the way, I'm just using, you know, normal Japanese organic cotton, nothing special. Today in this video, this build came out to a 0.19 ohm build. I have it set to right now 770 watts. This is sitting on the Reuleaux Gen 3. And she's cooking. So I'm going to come back up and give you some of my first thoughts. So that was the Vandy Vape Mesh RDA. So what are my thoughts? What do I think about this RDA? Well, for one, it reminds me a bit of the Cosmonaut for District 5, just designed a little bit differently when it comes to the deck. The airflow is similar, not exactly the same, but it reminds me a lot of it, to be honest with you. Design-wise, I really like how it looks. I love this this black drip tip. It's like a neural drip tip. It doesn't feel uncomfortable on the lips at all, even though it kind of looks like it would be. Anyway, I have the dual fuse Clapton build in here. Comes out to a 0.19 ohm resistance. It's 26 gauge nichrome 80 wrapped with, I think it was 36 gauge nichrome 80. Anyway, so I'm going to take a vape. The airflow is fully open with the Rocket Punch Melon Milk Crusher. Plenty of vapor production, as you can see. Flavor is pretty good. With it wide open, it's pretty airy. Very minimal spitback. With these type of coils, you kind of get spitback, but I did overdrip just a little bit to make sure it's saturated before I took a vape. But I'm going to cut the airflow just about halfway. Yeah, halfway. Not sure if you can see it or not. But the airflow is halfway, same 70 watts. And let you know what I think. Vapor production is still good. The flavor intensifies a little bit. Is a lot more restricted. This is kind of more of my speed. Not too much. You could close it off even more, but the vapor probably a bit hot at 70 watts to be honest. But I'll give it a try. Yeah, yeah. that's hot. That's too much power for that. Well, I'm gonna close off about a quarter way. I think that'll probably be my sweet spot, and it's pretty cloudy in here as it is. But let me see. Yeah, about 3/4 away, open, is where I like it, man. It's cloudy here. I'm going to let it air off a little bit. But, yeah, so 3/4 away open is kind of how I like it. It adds a little bit more restriction. With it fully wide open, you do lose a little bit of flavor, but it's really, really airy for my personal preference. I think you vapors who like a very airy jar will probably like it. So far, when I think about it, it's not a terrible RDA. It's not a great RDA so far. I think it's right in the middle. From first impression, I would say I kind of like the Pulse 24 a little bit better than this one. This is also, I'm pretty sure, 24 millimeter in diameter. I'm not sure if I stated that in the up close portion. But it's not a bad RDA. I do like the build deck. I think the flavor is a little bit above average. As long as you build the coils a little bit higher so that the airflow could travel underneath. I think that's really key when you're building this RDA. Building is really easy. I mean, you just cut the leads and you just plop them in and tighten them down. I mean, it's really, really easy. I'm glad Vandy Vape kind of, came up with this style of build deck, implementing two of the more popular build decks. We've seen so many Postless build decks and RTAs and RDAs, and we saw a lot of clamp style build decks, from the Goons and all these other RDAs that utilize it, the Apocalypse, some type of clamp style. And, kind of bringing them all into one, it makes it pretty easy to install your coils and tighten them down and get them good to go. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to like the mesh, to be honest with you. I haven't really, messed with mesh much, to be honest with you. I'm glad they give you, in the box, they give you a couple of options. They give you stainless steel, they give you Cantol, and they give you nichrome. So, if you want to run temperature controlled, you can with this stainless steel. With Cantol and nichrome, obviously you can't. But so far, I mean, this already is pretty good. It's nothing, crazy when it comes to, airflow or flavor. But what really draws me to this RDA is the build deck. The build deck, it just simplifies, the whole building process. And I think beginners and advanced users will have no issues with it. I'm going to have to take one more vape. I'm going to actually lower the wattage to about 64 watts. Yeah, the flavor's pretty good. Now the cotton's breaking in, a bit more. The flavor's coming through a bit, a lot better. What's great about this RDA is that you could easily just, well, there goes the cap for the bottle. But you could go ahead and drip right down the center, just like that, and continue on with vaping. And that I think that's going to attract a lot of vapors too, who don't like, painting their coils or whatever with like bottom airflow or some side airflow. But the coils are sitting like right underneath your mouth when you're vaping, so I mean that kind of adds to the flavor. So like I said, the vape production is good, the flavor is good. Overall, my first impression, like I said, is it's not bad. It's pretty good overall. I'm not sure how I'm going to like the mesh, to be honest with you. And one thing I do want to mention, like I said, it comes with a Squonk Pin. And with normal round wire builds, you won't have an issue. But if you check back of the up close where the build deck is, the Squonk Pin will be in the center. And how you build mesh is kind of like, kind of like a half circle. And you put the cotton through it. So what that's going to do is going to kind of clog where your Squonk Pin is. So when you're squonking, I'm not exactly sure how that's going to affect your vaping experience. Like, will it be too, I don't know, will it clog up the squonk hole where it's not going to really absorb you good as efficiently? Do you have to, have the kind not packed so tightly? I mean, there's so many factors and variables with squonking to get a good vape experience. From what I do when I'm building a Squonk RDA is that I don't pack too much cotton, and I don't I don't really block the squonk hole, because you want the elo to flow and hit your cotton, and then for it to soak to your coils and whatnot. There's so much different aspects of squonking. Sorry, but be sure to check out in the future. We're going to do a full-blown guide to squonking, both on the Vaping Cheap website and a video, so keep in mind and keep watching us if you're interested in that. But anyway, like I said, this is just a first look, first impression. So far, so good with the Vandy Vape Mesh RDA. If you're interested in pre-ordering it, I'll leave some links down in the description below where you can find them. I think the release date for this RDA is in about a week, maybe 2 weeks. I think Vandy Vape said around the 20th or so. So if you're interested, go take a look at it, see what you think about it. And I hope this video helps you in making a decision and purchasing your next RDA. With that being said, thanks for watching Fat Cloud TV, brought to you by Vaping Cheap. Make sure to check us out where we post daily deals every day to find you some of the best deals available on the market. Anyway, until then, keep it cloudy.
Get